I am Dave, the Amateur Magus. On this channel, I talk all about the mechanics behind ceremonial magic, occultism, esotericism, and the mechanics behind everything you can find within a dusty old grimoire. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe and share it around with people you think might enjoy it in all of the fancy occult places. And if you really enjoy my content, consider subscribing to my Patreon down in the link below, where patrons get exclusive content, early access, and the access to the Occultic Manual series for my highest tier patrons, which is where I talk about something in a written format for every month. So, let's talk about AI. Recently, I got bored, and I decided to do a thing where I would ask if Bing AI knew what a statement of intent was, and then I was proceeded to get recommended a video by myself. Which, after a 2-hour laughter fit, I proceeded to then have to decide to put this on the calendar. So today we're going to be talking about using AI language learning models in your practice. Let's talk about that, shall we? Now, you should not be using AI in your practice for anything that you have not coded yourself. If you have not made the AI, you should not be using the AI. Because AI training data is very important to understand. If you don't have an AI that is trained entirely on searching all of the occult grimoires that are in existence and searching up all of the information and formatting it in the proper way, you're going to have a bad time using AI for your magic. Because all of the commercially available AIs that I have seen that have not been trained for the explicit purpose of using, occult esoteric knowledge always spit out the wrong information and don't correct themselves at all. So that's going to be a problem if you're even looking up correspondences. Usually you're better off going to like Thalimapedia or some Wikipedia system. Now, there is also a concept of you can go through and look for, maybe you want help writing a poem or writing a statement of intent. Honestly, I would get a buddy and just have the buddy run through the statement of intent to double check, or do divination to see what the worst case scenario is, because that is going to be, from both experience and from trying it out, that is going to be the best approach to using AI that I have personally seen, is just having them go through catalogs and be like, hey, read this chapter of this book, but you need to program and you need to actually train the AI. And here's the thing about most of the modern AIs, with the exception of Bing AI, which I will talk about in a second. ChatGPT and various language learning models are not trained on occult information. If they're not trained on occult information, you're not going to get a proper response from them. You can ask ChatGPT what the angels of the Kabbalah are, what the elemental archangels are, and it will usually be wrong. It will usually be wrong unless you're asking the most obvious ones. If you ask what the Archangel of Mars is, you will almost always get the wrong answer, and he will probably say, Michael. If you are asking Bing AI, on the other hand, Bing AI is a little bit special, and the reason why Bing AI is a little bit special is because Bing AI is actually searching the web for all of the questions that you are asking, so it is much more accurate. That being said, Bing AI will also be leading you to other people. Bing AI will lead you to better sources. So this is similar to what I was talking about before. So if you wanted to use that, let's talk about that for a minute. If you are using a chat interface type of AI, I forget what they're called. I think it's like a text-based language model or language-based language learning model, whatever it's called. If you are using one of those and it is actively searching the internet, that is probably better, and it will lead you to going and getting the information that you're actually looking for. That being said, you can't really vet the quality of the information unless it's telling you to go to places like the Amateur Magus YouTube channel, which was surreal when I saw it, I will be perfectly honest. So yeah, that's an important thing to note. If it's not searching up the information, you probably shouldn't use it. Now, I have taken a look at some of the things that people have been trying to do with it. The first thing a lot of people tried to do was get it to write mantras, get it to write invocationary poems, that kind of thing. And there is a cold artificiality to them that I have personally not tried, but from what I have gathered, the results are much worse than if you had just ad-libbed an invocation, as weird as that sounds. So it is literally better to ad-lib and just put your own spin and your own takes on the invocationary prayers than they are to use a chat interface like ChatGPT and the like. Which, you know, it's kind of funny in a weird way. So going through, what other things can you use AI for? So there's an entire thing where there's multiple AI, right? We have a bunch of AIs nowadays, and some of the reasons you shouldn't use AI for your magic, beyond the normal stuff, is that some of your AIs are going to have problems because the AI is not a person and it doesn't have the creative spark, and it is a machine. Because it's a machine, it does not have the creative ability of a person. If you want to go ahead and do this practice, I recently did a video on the Muses that should have come out a little while ago. And if you go read the Orphic Hymn to the Muses, you will find that if you go read the Orphic Hymn to the Muses and then you try to write a story and then you ask the same prompt, I guess you could say, if you ask the Muses for the same kind of thing that you ask a chat interface, the Muses will give you a much better answer. And that should surprise no one. The only people that this will surprise is the fucking tech bros who think that AI is the future. This is due to a critical and encouraged ignorance of the past and what we used to do in the past when we needed ideas, which is we would consult the spirits. That's what we would used to do. And now we're consulting AI, and it's the exact same 3 ideas shuffled in a ad-libs card multiple times until we get some result that looks like it was mildly creative. Oh, it's a crocodile, but it's a crocodile alien. Ooh. And then with the Muses, you get, oh, the crocodile was actually a government conspiracy that was funded by aliens in order to see what people would do when they have to deal with river monsters because the show River Monsters was canceled. That kind of insane creativity. And you're taking that regurgitated, we only know 4 ideas scheme, and you're trying to turn it into a magical ritual, and it really just doesn't work. You're better off just coming up with your own stuff. Other things, don't use AI-generated music in your rituals if, for whatever reason. I know that AI is supposed to be able to make music, but that being said, again, if you're not putting the proper emotions into your operations, you're just going to put in mechanical noise effectively, and it would generally be less effective. From what I've seen, everything involving AI is just less effective than doing it yourself, and I don't know about you, but if I'm doing a magical operation, I want my magic to be effective, and I don't want it to be wasting my time or anyone else's time, and let alone, I don't want to be wasting the spirit's time for, like, you called me up for this? You called me up and using a robot? Really? You couldn't even bother getting the old books out? Really? Another thing is, if you're going to be using AI art, just draw the sigils yourself. I mean, if you want to hide them, the only appropriate use of AI would be to hide sigils in something, I would say. But for the most part, you're going to want to just draw the art yourself and then do it like that. I know some people have been experimenting with using AI art to make fancy QR codes. Yeah, this is like a similar thing for occultism. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the little rant about AI being not as useful as most people would think for at least occultism. So yeah. I have been Dave, the Amateur Magus, once again, and if you enjoyed this content, please subscribe and share it around with people you think might enjoy it. And if you really enjoyed my content, please subscribe over there where you get exclusive access to all my content early, and as well as exclusives for the higher tier patrons. Hope you're having a good day. If you're not having a good day, hope your day gets better. Take it easy.